where the offending team gets a bit of an advantage.
It also emphasizes the importance of doing as much as you can with your possessions. To the outside goes Bjurstrom, stays on his feet, pushed out of bounds. That makes it 4th down, and I think we might see Westfield use one of their timeouts. Or maybe, yeah, okay. Referee started to point towards Noblesville's sideline, then he points towards Westfield's sideline. So, again, they have 3 timeouts to use, but it all depends on what they are able to do here. Again, for Noblesville, they had a drive earlier that went 9 plays, led to a touchdown. And this drive has encapsulated now 5 plays, and they've been able to use more than 5 minutes off the clock. At Westfield, their possessions in the second half both ended in a 3 and out. And Noblesville saying, hey, we're going to go for this, and even if we don't get it, we shall find a way to stop Noblesville, even if we give it back to them.
Don't throw that, don't throw that.
False start. Now that's not going to start the clock.
It should have. Yeah.
Because remember, play had been stopped because of a timeout, so you back them up to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm Noblesville that I don't mile. You're probably not going to get it. I know there's a minute 12. I know how to add. But, I mean, I'd rather them have the ball down on their own 15 than at midfield.
Pitch. Faking it anyway. Osborne in trouble. Osborne turning the corner. Osborne trying to make people miss, and eventually what feels like the whole Westfield defense gets there. And Eli Colling makes the tackle. So that turns it over on downs, and I think the whole reason they did that, and I see your point, Jim, but they want to make Westfield use their second timeout. Now they've only got 1 left to try to score twice here in 57 seconds.
Yeah, you know, which brings up a good question, and I might be able to get an answer between games here. Like, what would you do in a situation since there are no kickoffs? How does a team score a touchdown late, onside kick, and go down and score again if you don't kick off?
I would imagine, based on some of the scores, we haven't seen a scenario for that.
Right. I mean, let's say that, you know, again, let's say they score right here on this play. They go 45 yards, 50 yards, whatever it is, and they go down and score. Well, then there's going to be about 43 seconds or so. How does the team, you know, go for an onside kick to be able to get the ball back?
And that entails what you better have with your timeouts. Shows the importance of your timeouts at least. But if you don't have any, you're right. You're running into scramble drill there. Quarterback is Sterost. Running back behind him, Luke Bollier. Sterost looking, firing, tipped up, nearly intercepted. That ball was in a crowd of people. He was looking for Brady O'Hare, but now again the clock moves. So if you're in Westfield, you got to move quickly.
Of course, Noblesville has 2 very, very deep defenders just playing center field there, and the guy you saw shoot in there was Caden Bergstrom, and he just absolutely read the quarterback's eyes, had a beat on the ball.
2 touchdowns for Noblesville in this game. Caden Bjurstrom from 28 yards and Sincere Perkins from 14 yards. And in trouble, Sterost, and down he goes. The man who got him there was Jimmy Canada. Westfield has to use their final timeout of the half.
Well, I certainly don't blame Coach for using it, but I mean, I think it's a exercise in futility here. 12 seconds to play, you're down 2 touchdowns. You're a long, long way from home, to quote an old Foreigner song. But again, take the only shot you got, right? I mean, it's the only chance you have.
In our first game today, Brownsburg defeated Westfield in the 3rd grade semifinal. Throw, Sterost down the side, incomplete. 5 seconds for the clock runs out. That does it. Noblesville stands tall defensively. They improve to 3-1 in this tournament, and they advance to the 4th grade championship game coming up on Tuesday night with a 14-0 win over the Westfield Shamrocks. Jim, your final thoughts on this one?
I thought I was an entertaining game, John. And there was just enough Noblesville to get the victory here, but certainly the Westfield kids have nothing to be ashamed of. Just they weren't able to convert, they weren't able to finish. But again, like you said earlier, you got something to look at on film and get better.
All right, when we come back, we'll come back in about 15 minutes or so, close to about 5:40 for our next game. The 2 touchdowns in this one. Sincere Perkins from 14 yards. There's another look at that. Caden Bjurstrom with a 28-yard touchdown run. A few interceptions in there as well. And Noblesville knocks off Westfield 14-0. For Jim Leisure and the rest of our fantastic crew on the ISC Sports Network, I'm John Herrick, saying we'll talk to you in about 15 minutes. You're watching the Gridiron Gang football contest on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Genesis Sports Performance is a private sports performance facility located in Indianapolis at 65th and Benford. Genesis is housed in a spacious 7,000 square foot facility with a state-of-the-art weight room and expansive turf area designed to help both athletes and adults achieve their true potential. The certified coaching staff at Genesis has a wide variety of experience, having worked with numerous professional athletes, youth athletes, and adults from different training backgrounds. Genesis Sports Performance programs are individually designed to improve speed and explosive strength, whereas the adult fitness programs are centered around improving body composition. To find out more, log on to GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
The Gridiron Gang is excited to now offer quarterback development training led by professional quarterback coach J.C. Boyce. From the beginner just getting started to the experienced seeking advanced refinement, Coach J.C. has worked with NFL, NCAA, high school, and youth quarterbacks. The fully comprehensive programs include both on and off-field training within age and skill level appropriate small groups. Coach JC's personalized approach accelerates the quarterback's learning curve and overall self-confidence.
Hey, Colts fans, it's your favorite quarterback hater, Rob Mathis, number 98. To date, the Gridiron Gang Foundation and I have provided over 300 scholarships to Indiana youth athletes with on and off-field life skills development. Our scholarship program has been transformational for many families. Donate today for a chance to watch a Colts game with Robert in the Gridiron Game Field Suite at Lucas Oil Stadium. Text Mathis to 765-739-GANG to donate today. Go Colts!
Back for what is our final game of the day in the Gridiron Gang Youth Football Tournament, Grand Park Event Center in Westfield, along with Jim Leisure. I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for joining us. It is our 6th grade semifinal between the New Era Gators and the Brownsburg Bulldogs. New Era is in orange, Brownsburg is in red. We'll get you the names of all the players in just a moment. So Brownsburg won the toss. They have decided to receive. They get the ball first. And as is customary, they begin from their own 30-yard line. Their 3rd grade team won earlier today over Westfield, 18-0. And quickly we go to play here on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81. Brownsburg with their quarterback, Crew Ford. Lining up next to him is Elijah Johnson. Some of the other players for Brownsburg: Cade Smith, Nico Clark, Micah Billups, Deacon Gibbs, Amir Muhammad, Maurice Rogers, Elijah Hawkins, Ethan Winings, Eli Killian, Camden Dickey, Cortland Marcus, Joseph Sanson, Isaiah Cantu, Henry Walters, Tanner McFarland, Soliman Owatra, Isaac Wilkes, and Xander Tippman. The head coach for Brownsburg is Josh Walters. And for New Era, their players are Devon Gary, Samiyaj Monroe, Ishmael Burris, Solomon Nichols, Sincere Gee, Patrick Green, Jatavion Agnew, Tonio Smith, Carson Jackson, Damari Ivy, Jakari Bledsoe, Mario Garmani, Jakari Jones, Caleb Jones, and Joshua Day. And again, they're just trying to make sure everything is situated here. The head coach for New Era Gators, and for Brownsburg, Josh Walters, all just making sure they have everything situated. There's an issue with the clock right now because the clock on the field reads 8 minutes. It needs to say 12 minutes, but right now it only says 8. So what they're trying to do is fix that. Of course, we know it's 12, but it has to be 8. There we go. Now they got it corrected. Both assistant coaches calling out, making sure their players are in the right field of play, and we are ready to go in our 6th grade semifinal. And the handoff goes to Elijah Johnson. Johnson able to work his way to the 31. Not much else besides that. Nice tackle made by New Era's Sincere Gee for a gain of 1. And that makes it 2nd down and 9. Bringing in Jim Leisure again. So, Jim, an opportunity for Brownsburg here to go, 2 for 2 on the day.
Well, John, the thing that you're going to see if you've been with us all day, we saw some pretty talented 3rd graders, and then we saw some pretty talented 4th graders, and now we're moving up again to 6th grade. You're going to see something that's going to look a little bit more like high school football with these kids. You can see it right on the screen. Bigger kids. You're going to see some real athletic plays here.
Brownsburg coming in 1-1 on the day. New Era 3-0 in this tournament as the throw down the field is intercepted. Intercepted by Tonio Smith. Smith has room in front of him. Can he get a block or two? Has to cut back inside, and down he goes as Isaac Wilkes tackles him. But still, Tonio Smith with an interception, and I think we've got face mask on the return as the flag comes down with our first infraction of this contest.
Yeah, you're going to see it right at the end of the run here, but a nice job. Man, that's a lot of red shirts down there. If I'm, again, it was 180 pounds ago, but I used to be a quarterback, and I don't remember ever throwing red into red. That can get a little confusing.
So Crew Ford with the interception. Tonio Smith with the INT ends the drive, and then he returns it back to the 17 of Brownsburg. With 10.5 to go in the first quarter. Again, the clock runs. Each team gets 3 timeouts that are 30 seconds each a half. And the quarterback for New Era is Devon Gary. He takes the snap and hands it off to Solomon Nichols.
So a really big play defensively, great field position for New Era. And again, as a coach, you always want to try to take advantage of these quick change situations. Wouldn't surprise me to see them maybe take a shot at the end zone here. I'm quite sure the quarterback's arms probably got enough strength to get there. If not, certainly a long gain, and then the receiver can finish.
You've got Tonio Smith and Solomon Nichols in the backfield. And this time, Devon Gary just decides to keep, and he doesn't have really anywhere to go. Tackled there by Brownsburg's Cade Smith from his defensive end spot. 3rd down. Gain of 2. Looking at 3rd down and about 9.
Yeah, just tried what amounts to a naked misdirection there. You're going to send both the running backs to the left and the quarterback to the right. Now, if you want to do that, that's fine. But why don't you pull a backside guard or pull a tackle or a wing back or somebody, give him a lead block.
Devon Gary goes under center and has an I formation dotted by Jatavion Well, actually, yeah, by Jatavian Agnew. Agnew gets the carry, loses the football, down on the ground it goes, and it is recovered by Brownsburg. The man who picks it up is Micah Billups. So Billups recovers the fumble. Both teams have turnovers on their opening possession.
Well, just a really bad exchange. The ball was never really controlled by the ball carrier. And so, again, a huge break for Brownsburg. You see the ball's already loose. He's trying to reach and grab for it. Gets hit. It's over.
Well, Brownsburg didn't even have the ball for a minute and a half on their opening possession. New Era Gators have it for about 2 minutes before giving it right back. Sixth grade championship game will be played at 7:45 Tuesday night on field number 2. That'll be preceded by the fourth grade championship. The third and the fifth grade finals will be on field 1 at 6:30 and 7:45 and a whistle. Looks like we got a false start here on.
Well, they're saying encroachment violation.
Or encroachment, okay.
So I guess they're saying that the New Era player was in the neutral zone before, because the left guard clearly moves. And
yep.
You see it. Yep.
He moved because there was encroachment. Yep. So 1st and 10 just became 1st and 5. They go to the 21 now. Snap, handoff. Amir Muhammad. Muhammad doesn't have really anywhere to go. Muhammad, he is, looking at the roster, he is the only running back. Well, he's listed as a running back. Soliman Uwatra is listed as an H-back. He's in the game, but he only gets, he ends up losing 3 yards to the 22-yard line, so it's now 2nd down and long.
Yeah, I don't know. There's going to be a lot available up the middle. Big number 79 there, Joshua Day. He's just a monster. You also got Patrick Green's a good-looking kid, good size, number 9.
Crew Ford trying to shake off that early interception. Rolls, pumps, fires down the right side, tipped into the air, incomplete. Good coverage by New Era. One of the first guys there was Sincere Gee, who swatted that one away. And it's 3rd down and 8 for the Gators, or for the Brownsburg offense.
Yeah, just kind of throws the football in double coverage here. Just kind of really, you see it there on the replay, just kind of chucked it up there. A little dangerous, especially in the double coverage. Luckily, it just got knocked away. Far worse, could have been picked off and taken back to the house.
Playing for the right to go to the 6th grade championship game. And we'll have the championship matchups for you on Tuesday night on ISCSportsNetwork.com and on the app as well, Comcast 81. Crew Ford on 3rd down. Pressure showing. He hands it off to Muhammad. Muhammad nowhere to go. So the first man there for New Era with good sportsmanship showing that. Ishmael Burris, and it's 4th down. I think they're electing to punt it away, and they are. So again, no actual punting at this level. You just elect to give the ball to the other team 20 yards beyond where your line of scrimmage is. So New Era is going to take over with good field position here.
Yeah, and you know, John, I've seen some leagues at the 6th grade level, they actually will punt, but you can't rush it. But they actually snap the ball back 8-9 yards, and then everyone just kind of stands there. And the kids, so the kids get to practice punting, they get to practice catching a punt, maybe setting up a return. So no rush punts are pretty common at this level, but clearly for this particular tournament, that's not the style that they use.
So New Era gets it from the Brownsburg 39. Get to start on their side of the field. A little bit of a seam there for Solomon Nichols as he got the handoff from Donovan Gary. Brought down at the end there by Elijah Johnson to the 38-yard line.
Micah Billups also there. And, you know, you look at this offensive line here for New Era. You know, Caleb Jones, 76, a big kid. Joshua Day's a big kid. If those guys can move their feet, and I don't know for sure, I've never seen them play, I've never been to their practices, but I just think about running the ball right behind them. They got a massive offensive line.
Gains 6, 2nd down and 4. Gary taking the snap, handing it off to Smith. Tonio Smith trying to go right, not much there.
Henry Walters was there first, almost knocked the ball loose. Just basically,
I think he did fumble, and Tonio Smith got it back.
Okay.
Tanner McFarland was close to, yeah, there he did fumble it. Wow, what a favorable bounce there. It bounced literally right back to him. It does not always work that way.
As he was falling to the ground, he was able to catch it. So sometimes it's better be lucky than good, and that time New Era got a little bit of a break.
3rd down and about 6, and a timeout is taken here by New Era, their first of the first half. While they do that, we'll remind you that today's broadcast brought to you in part by Not Today, founded in 2019 by Indianapolis Colts head coach Frank Reich and his wife Linda. Not Today envisions a world Rich cherishes and protects the beauty and innocence of every child. Not Today's work would not be possible without partnerships from donors who believe in the mission. We'd love for you to join our team. Log on to find out more at nottoday.org. Take a look at what's going on the other field behind us. That would be at field number 2 as the Mud Sox Blues 6th grade team taking on Zionsville. What a move by the Zionsville quarterback there. Reversing field and somehow throwing it for the touchdown. What an unreal play there by Zionsville. So if you hear some applause going on that may not be here, it might be going on for the other field. Some major applause will be happening here, though, as this one is taken to the outside by Sincere G, and Sincere G is sincerely gone for the touchdown. What a run by G to get to the outside and score. Official sticks his hands up in the air, no flags, and that is a touchdown run of 39 yards for Sincere G.
Well, just kind of really off tackle right a little bit wider than that, but he kind of hits it right there where a tight end would be, bounces it outside, and there's a downfield block right there. Nice job. And then the rest of it's just him avoiding tacklers and staying in bounds.
See what they decide to do for the extra point. If they go from the 3-yard line, it is for 1 point. If they go from the 5, it is for 2. And it looks like they are backing up to the 5. Loving every minute of that. Sincere G celebrating there with his teammate, Samaj Monroe. Solomon Nichols lining up to the right of Devon Gary. Gary takes the snap. He's in trouble, tries to get out of it, and down he goes. Just decides stay right there. And it is an extra point try that is unsuccessful, but it will be Brownsburg getting the ball back, trailing New Era 6-0. The original Gridiron Gang believes budget limitations should not lead to football limitations. Go the originalgridirongang.com and click on the Foundation tab to learn more about how their training services can be provided at limited or no cost to underrepresented communities and to members of military families. The original Gridiron Gang, developing skills both on and off the field. Along with Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday night for Gridiron Gang action, semifinal play. The championship games are Tuesday night. Now, if you're Brownsburg here, what do you try to do offensively, Jim?
You know, it's still relatively early, John. I mean, you got about a minute to play here in the first quarter. I just try to run my offense, try to get some rhythm. You know, again, the third grade team ran a lot of misdirection, and I'm going to believe the coaches probably communicate with each other. That may be something Coach John Hart has asked them to do. So a lot of misdirection, maybe try to get a big play.
Handoff here goes to Elijah Johnson. Johnson not much there.
Yeah, you said that 3 or 4 times now. They keep trying to run in between the tackles, and there's not much there.
Joshua Day, who you talked about earlier, Jim, in on the tackle.
You're going to have to get around that mass of humanity there. I mean, if those kids are coached well and they play with their hands, you know, I always told kids, you play offense with your feet. Even if you're an offensive lineman, you got to block with your feet, and you play defense with your hands.
Loss of 1 to the 29, 2nd and 11. They are not going to get another play off. That does it for the first quarter. New Era leads it 6-0. Back for the second in just a moment on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Legacy is about sharing what you have learned and what you leave behind when you put the people you serve first. Dr. Donald Shelburne became a doctor to help athletes recover from knee injuries. That single focus has helped thousands of athletes continue to follow their dreams over the past 35 years. Dr. Rodney Benner understands what patients with knee pain want. They want to get back to working, playing, and living.
Come meet our family and we will take care of yours.
One focus, proven results.
We are the Shelburne Knee Center.
Well, Brownsburg has the ball, down 6-0, facing a second down and long from their own 29, along with Jim Leisure. I'm John Herrick. Jim, what do you think we might see out of Brownsburg here on this next play?
Well, right before the end of the quarter there, John, Brownsburg came out in a trips right formation. New Era only had 2 defenders out there covering the trips formation. And again, that's just simple football. I got 3, you got 2. So I'm going to throw the spot screen to my third guy. I'm going to let my 2 guys block and see how far we can go. Now we'll see whether or not, here they come, trips right. Does New Era bring that third defender, that free safety, number 1 in the middle of the field there, Devon Gary? Do you bring him over, or do you just let play 3 against 2?
Well, won't matter because we got offside penalty.
Yep, nice job coming out of the timeout. You got plenty of time to talk to your kids. I'm talking about offensively to say, guys, we're going to get them. We're going to get them on an encroachment here. You got to hold your water. Don't jump. If we do, we're going to try to get them to jump. If they don't, we'll just throw the spot.
Gain of 5 on the penalty. Second down and 11 just became 2nd and 6. And again, even though it is a running clock, the clock will not run until an actual play happens. And a penalty does not count as an actual play. The reason I bring that up is because we had that same situation in the last game. Snap to Crew Ford. Ford throws it out there to Muhammad. Muhammad tries to turn it upfield. Nothing there. So they're trying to work the outside that time, Jim, and just nothing doing. Damari Ivy comes over to make the tackle for New Era.
Yeah, they threw the spot screen, and then again, even though that they didn't necessarily line up to it, again, you see Ivy come out there, number 22, and he was clearly right on it, and he's right there to make the play and wait on his teammates. So that's another way to defend it, right? You don't have to bring that third defender out there, but you better have somebody that can get out there on the perimeter quickly.
Opening portion of the second quarter. New Era 3-0, undefeated in this tournament so far. Brownsburg at 1-1 in their 6th grade team. New Era has been very good, has not allowed a point defensively. Ford under duress, shoved down on the play, backside. Now, that young man is wearing number 4. We do not have a number 4, so congrats, number 4.
Noticed that earlier because when I was talking about the defensive line, and he was certainly one of the young men, he's a pretty good-sized kid, and I noticed they didn't have a number 4 on the roster. And really, honestly, some good sportsmanship there. Just kind of shoved him to the ground.
Yep.
He didn't bury him. He didn't, drive his shoulder pad into him. And it looks like Brownsburg has decided to basically turn it over.
Yep, that was 3rd down. Before that, making it 4th down. Brownsburg backed up deep, facing 4th and forever. Knows there's really only one play in that particular instance, and that is to give it back to New Era.
Now, one of the things years ago that we did, I think it was about the year 2000, John, we started the new Powell City Cadet Football League. And we went around and I talked to Coach Delahan at Ben Davis, and I talked to Coach, I think it was, daggone, his name escapes me, but he was at Carmel. And we basically took what all those great programs do, Coach Moore at Center Grove, I did talk to Eric, and we created our league based off what they do, and a lot of that stuff is what you're seeing here today.
1st and 10 around midfield. Throw out right. Catch made on the run. That is Ishmael Burris, or rather, Samajian Monroe. Semiaj Monroe run out of bounds by Billups. Micah Billups got there to push him out, but not before he gets a 1st down and a gain of 15 to the 30-yard line of Brownsburg.
A nice little play again, little spot pass, get it out there, see if you can make one of your athletes make one of their athletes miss, and that's exactly what happens. The coach from Carmel was Keith Fiedler, Hall of Fame coach. I couldn't think of his name. Oddly enough, I coached with Keith for a year. You would think I'd remember his name.
Two backs in the backfield with Devon Gary. One of them is Solomon Nichols. Antonio Smith. Give to Tonio. Tonio up the middle he goes. He's getting some help from his offensive lineman. Finally pushed back. But Tonio has made an impression on this game early, getting an interception and a few nice runs. Joseph Sanson stops him for Brownsburg.
Nice lead block there by number 7, Solomon Nichols, too. Anytime you're lead blocking or you're pulling from one side to the other, always try to get your head up inside. We always told kids, when you're going from one side to the other, use it as a kick out block. Drive your helmet inside shoulder, work that right shoulder pad, and just root him out.
High snap, but he gets it. Gary, after he corrals it, has nowhere to go on second down and manageable. And he's pushed back by Micah Billups and Camden Dickey. So now he loses 2 yards, backs him up to the 27. So it's third down and about 7.
Yeah, both those defenders had that thing totally read. And it's kind of, obviously I'm joking a little bit, but I'm sure Devon Gary's over looking at his coach going, don't run that no more. that didn't fool anybody, and I just about got killed. So let's run something else.
Also, too, at this level, I mean, at 3rd and 4th grade, the coaches are on the field, and at 6th grade, starting to see a little more, trust. The coaches are off the field. And they may come over and get the play call, but that's about it.
Excellent point, John. I did not notice that until right now.
Gary, did the hard count work? Well, I guess they say no. Hand off to Smith. Smith tried to bounce it up inside, then tried to go outside, and nothing was there. And a good job there by Brownsburg's Henry Walters. You're seeing there, number 30 in red on the screen, and it's 4th down. Now you got a tough decision to make here. You made some movement up front, and you started to, if it was 4th and 3, I'd understand it, but here, maybe send it back and play field position, but they decide no, they're going for it.
Yeah, I tried the hard count again. It almost worked last time. We'll see on 4th down whether the defense is a little more aggressive.
High snap. Gary going for it. Pass deflected, and he didn't quite get there on the interception. Eli Killian almost had it, but might have been deflected by somebody at the line. Either way, it is a turnover on downs. A 5-play drive for New Era bogs down with 6.5 to go in the 2nd quarter. Okay, I think so must have just come out of there awkwardly. Yep, it just came out not the way he wanted. So Brownsburg takes over from their own 28-yard line.
And because the pass was not close, actually worked in Brownsburg's favor, because if he picks that off, they get the ball there. Now you get it up here, it would have been a difference of about 10 yards.
Crew Ford from the gun. Handing it off, and that is Amir Muhammad breaking off one man and another man. Muhammad finally shoved down by Tonio Smith, able to get to the 28, and get a lot of running around for just only a minimal gain, so 2nd down and 9.
They're trying to work it out a little bit. That one was, they've been running between the tackles. That one was off left tackle, so they're trying to work themselves out a little bit. Still, though, credit this defense for New Era, man. They haven't given up a point this entire tournament. John, I'm starting to see why.
Yeah. I mean, even when it looks like you're making movement, getting traction against them, doesn't work. Crew Ford's got Amir Muhammad in the backfield with him. Ford from the gun, takes the snap and pressure immediately, floats it out there's got a man, and it's incomplete. And you almost made him pay for the blitz, but just could not get there, the intended target, Soliman Owatra.
Yeah, if you're going to do blitzing and stuff, you still have to be sound in the secondary. They, either go man or whatever, but they just bring a whole bunch of orange shirts and send nobody with the receiver, and luckily the ball was kind of underthrown there a little bit. At that point, I'd like to see him leave his feet, try to come up with something there.
New Era catches a break. See if they maybe blitz as much. I think they might realize they caught a break there. Low snap to Ford. Has to dig it out of the ground basically and hand it off to Muhammad. Muhammad lost the ball. Down on the ground it goes. They say he was down though when he lost it. So no change of possession. He hangs on to the football. Even though it's not a loss of possession, it's still 4th down and 8. So, all right.
I think to hear, I think you got to punt it per se, turn it over. I don't know, 4th and 8 or 9. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and do that. I was going to say, because if you don't get it here, you're getting the football at a very, very good spot. It's bad enough to go in, at halftime down 6-0, but you certainly don't want to make it 14-0.
No, you don't. So New Era gets it from their own 35. Now they've got 2 timeouts to work with. Brownsburg has all 3. Damari Ivy checking into the game. And the quarterback, Devon Gary, going over to the sideline to Coach Clark to get the play call.
Long time in the huddle here, and I got to believe the officials are aware of the 40-second clock between plays. Otherwise, again, you'd be giving one team an advantage with a running clock.
You better snap this quickly. They've taken a lot of time off the clock. They do. Handoff. Sincere G, who's already got 1 touchdown today and has another nice run. Taken down right around midfield for a gain of 12, and that is a chain mover for the Gators.
Yep, first down. Again, normally at the high school level, they would stop the clock briefly while the chains are set, but not here.
What do you make of this Sincere G running back?
I like him. Obviously, again, had a huge hole there. But again, you still got to hit the hole. You still got to finish the run, and he did both of those things.
Gain of 17 yards on that run. Coming up on a 1.5 minutes to play in the first half. Handoff goes to Tonio Smith this time, and Smith has nowhere to run. 2 guys there for Brownsburg to get him. Eli Killian and also Micah Billups. They do say he gets a few to about the 42-yard line. Second down and about 8.
Clock continues to run just under 1 minute.
I think if you're Brownsburg, you're saying to yourself, let's just get a stop. Let's let them run out of time. And, also keep in mind, too, New Era gets the ball to begin the second half.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. I think I would be just fine if I was Coach John Walters going down halftime 6-0.
Now they fumble it here and you recover. You think differently, but that's offside because Henry Walters jumped across unless they say he was drawn off, because Walters was definitely in the neutral zone. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Walters was pointing to the center as if to indicate it was basically an illegal snap, like he moved the ball, which sometimes centers do. We'll see what happens here.
2nd and 8 just became 2nd and 3.
No.
Nope, he clearly just jumped.
He just did it again, and
timeout.
Okay, so now I think what they're doing, John, is taking advantage of the rules. They're running the clock out. They're doing these intentional encroachment penalties so that the officials have to walk off 5 yards, and that forces New Era to call timeout. So again, I'll credit the coach, Walters, for playing in the rules in the world that he lives, but honestly, that's kind of poor sportsmanship in my opinion, to intentionally get penalties just so the clock will run out. But hey, I mean, again, those are the rules, man. He didn't write them. He's just living by them.
New Era's got 1 timeout left, But again, 7 seconds, you know, the higher the skill level, you could probably get 2 plays off in 7 seconds, but at this level, you probably only have time for 1.
Yeah, unique situation. Look how the ball is set there. Well, now he turned it normally, but the center has been having it sideways, parallel to the line of scrimmage.
Taking handoff, throwing deep is Devon Gary, has a man, catch made, touchdown, New Era. The Gators get on the board again right before the half. It is Semiaj Monroe who makes the catch and run for a 31-yard touchdown.
So, of course, they'll get the opportunity to run the untimed down extra point. And if you're a guy who believes in the football gods, you're saying, and that's what you get for trying to run the clock out by doing intentional penalties. You give the team an extra opportunity to get together. Nice pass, nice catch.
They've placed the ball on the 5, ironically enough, since that was just caught by number 5 for the touchdown. They're making it a 2-point try. Again, if you're just joining us new to the rules, if you're going from the 3, it'd be a 1-point try, but they're going from the 5. Snap, throw across the middle. Right idea by Gary, but just zipped it a little bit wide of his intended target there. Incomplete, and that takes care of the first half. 12-0. New Era with the lead over Brownsburg. We'll be back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Genesis Sports Performance is a private sports performance facility located in Indianapolis at 65th and Benford. Genesis is housed in a spacious 7,000 square foot facility with a state-of-the-art weight room and expansive turf area designed to help both athletes and adults achieve their true potential. The certified coaching staff at Genesis has a wide variety of experience, having worked with numerous professional athletes, youth athletes, and adults from different training backgrounds. Genesis Sports Performance programs are individually designed to improve speed and explosive strength, whereas the adult fitness programs are centered around improving body composition. To find out more, log on to GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
The Gridiron Gang is excited to now offer quarterback development training led by professional quarterback coach J.C. Boyce. From the beginner just getting started to the experienced seeking advanced refinement, Coach J.C. has worked with NFL, NCAA, high school, and youth quarterbacks. The fully comprehensive programs include both on and off-field training within age and skill level appropriate small groups. Coach J.C.'s personalized approach accelerates the quarterback's learning curve and overall self-confidence.
Hey, Colts fans, it's your favorite quarterback hater, Rob Mathis, number 98. To date, the Gridiron Game Foundation and I have provided over 300 scholarships to Indiana youth athletes with on and off-field life skills development. Our scholarship program has been transformational for many families. Donate today for a chance to watch a Colts game with Robert in the Gridiron Game Field Suite at Lucas Oil Stadium. Text Mathis to 765-739-GANG to donate today. Go Colts!
Legacy is about sharing what you have learned and what you leave behind when you put the people you serve first. Dr. Donald Shelburne became a doctor to help athletes recover from knee injuries. That single focus has helped thousands of athletes continue to follow their dreams over the past 35 years. Dr. Rodney Benner understands what patients with knee pain want. They want to get back to working, playing, and living.
Come meet our family and we will take care of yours.
One focus, proven results.
We are the Shelburne Knee Center.
Look at the first half highlights. Again, the story has been New Era for them in this tournament. Their defense, they start off by getting an interception from Tonio Smith, pay it off with a touchdown. But Brownsburg, of course, has played some solid defense of their own, Jim. However, I mean, New Era came into this matchup tonight having not allowed a point in their previous matchups in this tournament, and then their defense allowed their offense to get going.
Yeah, defensively, Brownsburg, like you said, has not played poorly. They basically gave up this touchdown right before the half. Really, it was the last play of the second quarter, first half. Other than that, they'd only give up 6, but that one there was a big one. The extra point was unsuccessful, and that has got us to a 12-0 score. And
you look at that play at the end of the half by Brownsburg. They just kept trying to commit, encroachment penalties to try to keep the clock running, and New Era calls a timeout and then gets a touchdown on the very next play from Gary to Semiaj Monroe.
Yeah, and I wasn't 100% sure exactly what they were doing. I really thought that they were claiming that the center was doing an illegal snap. And then I realized quickly that, you know what? Oh, I see. Because I looked over at the clock, and there were 7 seconds left, and I went, oh, I see what they're doing. And again, I'm not mad at Coach Josh Walters. He's just taking advantage of the rules as they are. But you know what? In my opinion, when you intentionally try to get penalties, and then on the next play, the other team, with the extra time that they get by calling the timeout, they're able to regroup and throw a bomb over you. I guess, again, that's just the football gods evening things out a bit.
It is 12-0, the lead for New Era. We'll have the second half from Grand Park and Westfield when we come back in just a moment on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Genesis Sports Performance is a private sports performance facility located in Indianapolis at 65th and Benford. Genesis is housed in a spacious 7,000 square foot facility with a state-of-the-art weight room and expansive turf area designed to help both athletes and adults achieve their true potential. The certified coaching staff at Genesis has a wide variety of experience, having worked with numerous professional athletes, youth athletes, and adults from different training backgrounds. Genesis Sports Performance programs are individually designed to improve speed and explosive strength, whereas the adult fitness programs are centered around improving body composition. To find out more, log on to GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
The Gridiron Gang is excited to now offer quarterback development training led by professional quarterback coach J.C. Boyce. From the beginner just getting started to the experienced seeking advanced refinement, Coach J.C. has worked with NFL, NCAA, high school, and youth quarterbacks. The fully comprehensive programs include both on and off-field training within age and skill level appropriate small groups. Coach J.C.'s personalized approach accelerates the quarterback's learning curve and overall self-confidence.
The New Era Gators, decked out in orange, lead the Brownsburg Bulldogs 12-0. Even though Brownsburg's colors are purple and white, they are wearing red jerseys in this one, along with Jim Leisure. I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for being with us on the ISC Sports Network for the Gridiron Gang Football Tournament on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81. Today's broadcast brought to you in part by Not Today, founded in 2019 by Indianapolis Colts head coach Frank Reich and his wife Linda. Not Today envisions a world which cherishes and protects the beauty and innocence of every child. Not Today's work would not be possible without partnerships from donors who believe in the mission, and we'd love for you to join our team. Log on to find out more at nottoday.org. Tonio Smith up the middle he goes, and Smith on the very first play from scrimmage goes to the house for a touchdown. I mean, that was just incredibly easy. He had a interception to begin the game, a couple of punishing runs, and now he gets what amounts to be a 50-yard touchdown on the opening play from scrimmage.
Well, you're going to see some good blocking by the lineman and some good lead blocking by the back there. And again, just honestly made a defender miss right at the hole. So good athletic play there. A lot, again, of patience and vision and seeing what was in front of you and being able to jump start and get going full speed out of your cut. Really nicely done.
Clock runs immediately after that play happens. And even though you can do a point after attempt try from the 3 or from the 5, why would you do it from the 3, right? Just go for the 5 and try to get 2.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you might try it at the first time, and then if you don't get it, then you got to go for 2. I mean, you know, after that, you got to get your point back.
Devon Gary has Solomon Nichols, Antonio Smith in the backfield with him. Sincere G was the man who scored the first touchdown of this game for New Era. He looks, he fires, back corner of the end zone, overshoots his intended target. So we have 2 numbers. So New Era on the roster they've given us there's a number 4 and a number 3. Well, on their roster it goes from 1 and then to number 5 and then 6. So there's no 3 and no 4 on the roster. So number 3 has been targeted a couple times.
And that's not horribly unusual, John. Again, on these teams, a lot of times you have kids that come and go, and you know, they sign up late, and there's a spot on the team. So as you see the coach there, kind of basically there was some confusion. The young man number 3 there wasn't sure where to line up, and you know, so he's just telling him, hey, listen, when you're in the ball game, you're on the line of scrimmage, and again, we're not going to run unbalanced. So, you know, learning opportunity there for the young man.
Now Brownsburg's got a lot of work to do against a team in new era that has been dominant defensively. So they haven't really been able to do much running up inside. Let's see what they try to do on the outside here.
Well, John, they're going to need some big plays because with a running clock, you're just not going to be able to score 3 times by going on 9, 10-play drives.
Crew Ford handing off to Elijah Johnson. Johnson looked like he might get to the outside, nowhere to go. And there's big number 79, like you were talking about, Joshua Day, in on the stop, Jim.
Yeah, just a lot of orange shirts there. Decent push by the Brownsburg offensive line, but then the defensive players were able to get off the blocks. And, you know, it's about defeating blocks and scraping off toward the ball. You know, play defense with your hands, get separation.
Gain of 3, second down and 7. Ford takes a low snap. He's in trouble, and he does somehow complete the handoff. It didn't matter. 2 guys were there in the backfield immediately to tackle Elijah Johnson, that being Tonio Smith and Damari Ivy. And everything you gained on that first down play, you just lost on the second down play.
Well, you really got to like the Ivy kid. He's obviously not very big. You can see him on the screen there. He's one of the smallest kids on the field, if not the smallest, but very aggressive defensively. He's not going to let that size thing matter. Now, a lot of times when you see a young man like that, I like playing a kid like that at nose because he's going to be quicker than most centers. But they've been playing him at outside linebacker, defensive end, and you see him now spread out in coverage.
Less than 8 minutes to play in the third. Ford going deep on 3rd and 10, and that is intercepted by New Era. And the man who makes the play on the defensive side of the ball is number 21. Again, someone not on the roster that we saw. I think there's a flag down.
There is. I think it's going to be roughing the passer, and the young man looks like he's down.
Yeah, Ford is down. And Ford is being tended to by the staff, training staff from Ben Davis. Yeah, Ford took a shot at the end of the play. Again, for injuries, though, the clock does stop.
Yeah, certainly one like this where it appears like we're going to be here for a minute. He's just kind of holding his head there, forehead. I don't know if he hit his. You can get a concussion by banging your head on the ground. That happens a lot.
It does.
It's not always head-to-head contact.
7:26 on the clock. Well, tell you what, folks, while we are waiting for this injury situation to be sorted out, we will send you over to the other field to watch some of the other action going on in the meantime.
Some arm tackles, puts the stiff arm on, and is able to pick up some positive yards right there. Again, nice move right there. Runs through that first arm tackle and is able to power himself forward for a yard or 2.
Every yard counts here, especially in this kind of game where scoring has been at a premium. High snap, this time given off to Ray. He tries to turn the corner, then cuts back into the middle where he has a hole. And he makes something out of nothing right there. Looks like a gain of about 4 yards.
That's a little outside zone play. I think Ray should have just used his speed, tried to beat that defender, the Mud Sox defender, to the.
So after the penalty, that moves the ball to midfield, which is the 40-yard line on this 80-yard field that we've got here. And Crew Ford came off the field. He did have some help from the training staff, but at least he was able to walk. Now the clock is stopped at 7:26, so it won't start running until the play happens. So if there's a false start, the play does not start yet. The clock does not go. So we'll see who the new quarterback is for Brownsburg. They do have in there at running back Elijah Johnson. And the snap is low. Taking off and going nowhere with it is Cade Smith. So Smith is not normally a quarterback. He normally plays wide receiver and defensive back. And he was blitzed there by New Era's Damari Ivy. Ivy gets in there on the tackle. And it's second down at 15.
Yeah, again, one of the things about not having the coaches on the field at this level as opposed to earlier the 3rd and 4th grade games that we called, is it takes time to run him over to the sidelines. Coach is not in the huddle, so again, it's just taking more time. I would think maybe you might want to devise some type of hand signal where the quarterback could just get a signal from the coach, step into the huddle, call the play, because we're easily into 25 seconds here of just not moving the football.
That normally probably would be the right idea, but when you got a new quarterback in there who's not used to playing, or at least it's just thrust into action because of the injury to Ford, that's tough. Now we see what this looks like. It's encroachment on New Era. Yep.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Nicely done by Brownsburg there again, just to have the poise.
And whoever number 4 is coming off the field, again, not on the roster we were given. So they just got the 5 yards back that they lost to midfield to the 40, so it's 2nd and 10 for Brownsburg. Brownsburg's drives tonight ended in an interception, a turnover on downs, then a turnover on downs again. Again, it's probably the team that's got maybe the best defense at the 6th grade level in this tournament. Smith waiting for the snap, takes it. Looking downfield and fires, underthrows it, nearly picked off. He was looking for Amir Muhammad. And again, that was number 21 down there, who's not on the roster we were provided. So number 21 almost made a nice play to intercept the pass.
Looks like maybe Smith may have been able to run that and at least get some of it. I don't know that he would have gotten the first down, but let's say he gets 6 or 7 and brings up a 3rd and 3 as opposed to 3rd and 10. But again, not being the normal quarterback, probably not used to being in that situation. I always try to give my quarterbacks a lot of green light there. Hey, if you think you can run it and get 6 or 7, man, do it.
Smith trying a hard count. It did work once on this drive. The New Era Gators, though, stay disciplined. The snap is low. He picks it up off the bounce. Smith tries to take off. Able to get something out of it, but still not very much. Well shy of the first down, and I would think down 18, even if it's 4th down, you're going for it here.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. Again, like you said, you're down basically 3 scores and you know, with an opportunity to get 3 extra points, obviously. But here's an opportunity where he just runs out and he immediately realizes, you know what, I'm in trouble. Bad snap. I'm not going to be finding anybody get open. So, yeah, and the ball is past midfield, so it's not the worst place in the world to give it up.
Patrick Green over there to shove him out of bounds.
Certainly not the best place in the world to give it up either,
nope.
but not the worst.
But if you're Brownsburg and you want to get a first down here, you got to hurry up because, like you said, Jim, time is running off the clock. Not an ideal situation. Maybe they go back to that and look for Amir Muhammad, who's been a playmaker for him.
And if you're going to throw it, you're going to need some time. So you might want to keep in an extra blocker, either a back or an H-back, just to block.
And they go with a wildcat formation to Muhammad, and Muhammad just gets stood up, nowhere to go. So instead of having Muhammad downfield, they use Muhammad out of the wildcat. Does not work. First man there, Solomon Nichols, stopping him just beyond the line of scrimmage, and that's another turnover on downs for the Brownsburg Bulldogs.
Well, again, when you're talking about just good defensive play there, Damari Ivy, really good job. They were trying, number 22, the little guy in the Michigan helmet, they were trying to hook him, and he just would not get hooked. Now, we used to run that drill, and we simply called it double hook drill, where both players are trying to hook, and which one wants it worse? Which one wants to fight the most? That time, Damari Ivy wanted to fight the most.
New Era trying to use as much of the clock as they can. Gary takes a high snap and then has all kinds of daylight in front of him. And Gary scores with ease. A 43-yard touchdown run for Devon Gary. And it looked like he was thrown off by the snap at first, but then it didn't matter. And once he got beyond the line of scrimmage, hardly anybody there in front of him. Touchdown Gators.
Yeah, again, the secondary was the ones that were, defending the pass. They were so caught up in defending their people that they just lost sight of the quarterback. And you see on the replay there, he just left everybody in the dust.
So Brownsburg's going to get this ball back. Probably somewhere around a minute left in the third from their own 30. And again, the New Era Gators coaching staff immediately signaled for them to go for two, which they are. They've got Tonio Smith and Solomon Nichols as running backs next to Gary. Gary fires, back corner, tipped up and knocked away. Good defensive play by Elijah Hawkins, who plays mostly offensively. They usually line him up in the slot or they line him up out wide as a wideout, but he was covering there defensively and it worked very well for them. So even though the 2-point try is not successful, the touchdown is, and that makes it 24-0. All right. Brownsburg's got it with time running out in this third quarter. And while we have a moment, we'll remind you that the original Gridiron Gang believes budget limitations should not lead to football limitations. Go to theoriginalgridirongang.com and click on the Foundation tab to learn more about how their training services can be provided at limited or no cost to underrepresented communities and to members of military families. The original Gridiron Gang, developing skills both on and off the field. Probably maybe the and a botched snap there. New Era thinks they've got it on the fumble recovery.
Looks to me like Damari Ivy has it.
Yep.
Nope.
Well, he was about to point Brownsburg's way. I didn't see an official word there. Looking around.
The young man that came out of there was for Brownsburg, number 22, Joseph Sanson. So we'll see. You'll see him. He kind of has it there, and then again, the fight. You can see at the bottom there where they're tugging and pulling and fighting.
They just put second down up, so they just ruled that Brownsburg has it. But more to sort out when we come back on the other side. We start the fourth quarter on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Hey, Colts fans, it's your favorite quarterback hater, Rob Mathis, number 98. To date, the Gridiron Game Foundation and I have provided over 300 scholarships to Indiana youth athletes with on and off-field life skills development. Our scholarship program has been transformational for many families. Donate today for a chance to watch a Colts game with Robert in the Gridiron Game Field Suite at Lucas Oil Stadium. Text Mathis to 765-739-GANG to donate today. Go Colts!
So they did rule that fumble recovery is staying with Brownsburg. 24-0. Advantage, New Era. The Gators trying to stay undefeated and unscored upon here in the Gridiron Games and advance to the championship game on Tuesday night. Crew Ford, by the way, is back in there playing quarterback. Remember, he got shaken up on that roughing the passer penalty that was called. He throws an incomplete pass that nearly got intercepted by Tonio Smith. So Ford going back over to the sideline to get the play call. Good to see him back out there, Jim.
Yeah, it is, and they're going right back to the passing game and had an opportunity. I mean, I think the pass was there. It was just deflected there by number 11, Tonio Smith. But, yeah, getting back to that fumble right before the quarter break, John, you know, it could be a situation because that was almost simultaneous possession as well.
Right.
You had two players, oddly enough, both of them number 22. Both had about half that football, so offense wins those simultaneous possession things.
Ford from the gun, takes the snap, under duress. He gets a man shoved back into him, fires it down the field, tipped up into the air, nearly intercepted. They had three guys who are in position. One of the guys he was trying to throw to was Nico Clark, but again, Tonio Smith there defensively. And I think we've got another player down.
I believe it's the quarterback again, only this time I don't think it was a late hit. That looked like a legal play there. By Ivy.
Yep.
Was there.
Also, let's let you know, by the way, we told you we had a hard time knowing who the number 3, 4, and 21s were for New Era. Number 3 is Jakari Bledsoe. Number 4 is Jordan Haynes, and number 21 is Ishmael Burris. So a huge thank you to the staff from New Era to getting that information to us. Ishmael Burris was wearing number 6 on the roster we were given, but apparently he's wearing number 21. The other 2 we did not have originally. And I think if we are able to, since we are dealing with another injury, why don't we go back over to the game that is happening on field number 2, which is the other 6th grade semifinal, while they tend to crew forward.
And it's a big gain, puts them in a 3rd and short here. Got to think that Zionsville's going to use this as a 4-down look here, go for it on 4th down if they don't make it.
So now it's 3rd down and 1. Stayer, high snap, hands it off to his running back there. That's Garnett, who's back into the ball game after he was shaken up on the previous series, and that's a big 1st down here for Zionsville.
And it's, again, a little off-tackle play. Garnett toughing it out here, coming back after getting beat up a little bit. Does a nice job here. Runs through, almost runs through the arm tackle. Almost broke that into a big play, but did what he needed to do to get the 1st down. And looks like Zionsville's in business here.
So approaching midfield here is Zions.
All right, so it is 4th down for Brownsburg. They have attended to crew forward. He has come off the field again. Bring back in Nico Clark. Now the coach is out on the field calling the play here. That's the first time we've seen that today, Jim.
Well, and it may be just because of the quarterback situation with a new quarterback. Honestly, the coaches from New Era probably are fine with it. They're not going to say anything. It's like, okay, let's just get it done. This game,
So
I think it's
Brownsburg is putting out there Amir Muhammad now to try to play quarterback. He takes a low snap, rolls, throws down the field, and that is tipped up and nearly intercepted, knocked down by Devon Gary. And hopefully we don't have any New Era players injured because they were both struggling to get up. But
Carson Jackson just lit up number 1, Devon Gary. Just wow. Yeah, that's where people get hurt right there. And again, there's nothing to it. I mean, just 2 kids playing hard. They just happen to crash into each other.
So going forward on 4th down, obviously did not pan out. I think we're going to see a heavy dose here of Tonio Smith and maybe Devon Gary with some quarterback runs. Also, might see Solomon Nichols in there as well.
Yeah, it looks to me like some of the New Era coaches here, they're putting in some kids.
Yeah.
You see number 55 there, Jakari Jones comes in the football game. I don't know that he's played a lot, but this is his opportunity to play. If it was me, this is where I might get my 2nd or 3rd string quarterback some snaps.
Right.
Now again, remember these aren't 53-man rosters either. I mean, when you only got 20 kids, there's only so much you can do.
So 2 guys we just saw come into the game for the first time, Jakari Jones and Mario Garmany. Gary from the gun, taking the snap. Gary looking to throw. Now he just steps up and decides to run with it and is held onto and brought down by Camden Dickey and a few other guys, and he just kept turning his legs, able to pick up a few more yards. And what that does is it just keeps the clock moving.
Yeah, and again, what I'd like to see the New Era coaches here do too is try to use as much of the 40-second clock as possible. We don't really actually have play clocks on the field like you would at a typical high school game. But again, you kind of have some idea that at some point one of the officials who's responsible for that will start waving his arm, counting out 5 seconds. A lot of times they'll verbalize it 5, 4, 3, and then just tell your kid to snap it when there's about 3 seconds.
Inside 8 minutes to play. Gary hands it off to Solomon Nichols. Nichols picks up a few yards on 2nd down and about 5, getting 3, making it 3rd down and 2.
Really good effort in there by number 32, Solomon Otara. just getting in there and hanging on. He was hanging on for his buddies, saying, hey, come on, where you at? I'm one guy, I can't do it all.
They send out Semiaj Monroe. Sincere G is a wideout. Remember, he's a running back who's already scored in this game. And we got a whistle before the snap can be taken. Now, even though it is a false start, we already had play in action, so the clock will continue to wind. But 3rd down and 2 for them just became 3rd and 7, backing them up.
Well, you talked about Sincere G, normally a running back, but hey, let's put him a wideout because we may want to create a package sometime where we break the huddle, all of a sudden he's out there, defense doesn't realize it. Let's get some reps here. You got about 7 minutes to play. Let's get some reps, let's get some new packages in,
right,
and see what we can do.
G's going out there again as a wideout, so is Semiaj Monroe.
Jakari Bledsoe here at the bottom of your screen. Can't see him there. He's number 3 down here to the right.
Tonio Smith is in there back, and the snap goes over the head of Gary. Gary trying to get back on it. Ball is loose, and Brownsburg's got it, I think.
I believe they do,
yep.
John. Yep.
Brownsburg's got the football. That was on 3rd down, and the man who recovered it for Brownsburg, Micah Billups. So Billups gets a nice round of applause.
Now, normally, John, you say, okay, well, that's probably the backup center there. You know, they're trying a new kid at center, and but actually it was the starter. He just let one get away from him.
So Brownsburg takes over from their own 35. While we have a moment, let's thank our entire ISC Sports Network crew for all the hard work they've done today. The director, Jordan Shue, our replay man, Dennis Dale Glover Jr., also on the graphics, Daryl Tibbs, and thanks to our camera operators, Dominic Williams, Rob Lynch, and Ian Wheeler.
And you know, John, all day today we've had people come up to us between games and stuff and tell us that they got relatives watching from various states or various parts of the state of Indiana on the live stream or whatever, and just getting tons of compliments. And it's all those guys who just make you and I look better, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, Amir Muhammad and Elijah Johnson certainly have made me look smarter than I really am over the last few years. Johnson only gets a yard there. He comes up and grabbing his stomach. Hope he's all right.
Well, he may have fell on the ball. That sometimes will knock the wind out of you a little bit.
His teammate there that's helping him out, Soliman Awatra, patting him on the head, said, you got this, come on.
Yeah, the comments I got really was just how people were talking about the professional production of it.
Right.
You know, the video production, the different angles, the different cameras. They're just really surprised that at this level how well the crew has done, so hats off to them.
Amir Muhammad taking over the quarterback duties with Crew Ford being out. He fakes, he rolls, he steps up, has some room. Tonio Smith right there waiting on him. Helped out at the end of the play there by Damari Ivy. And that makes it 3rd down and about 7 as he's able to pick up 3 yards or so.
And you know, John, we talked about earlier how this is basically the future for a lot of these schools. Clearly Brownsburg, Coach John Hart does a fantastic job out there, his staff. These boys that you see out here today could someday end up playing on Friday night. Now with New Era, you got a young man right there in Ivy who's a nice little player. I have no idea where what school he will feed into. New Era is a little bit more of a travel team, I guess, as opposed to a community team. But a lot of these young men are going to be playing on Friday nights in about 4 or 5 years.
Stepping up, firing this time, Cade Smith in the game. So interchange Smith and Muhammad at quarterback. Going deep, and it's incomplete for Soliman Awatra. And that brings us to 4th down. And oh my, is Smith hurt now?
He's certainly limping.
Oh my goodness. I mean, just this Brownsburg team has taken a beating. So many injuries. 3:03 to go. Tell you what, it sounds like there's a lot of good action going on behind us at the field number 2. So we'll step over there to see what's heading up with that action, and we'll come back in just a moment.
That should seal the deal right here.
Taking a look at it again, just slightly underthrown, and Ray is there on the coverage. Larner looking for his wide receiver, Keon Sheward.
And Larner did have a little bit of pressure there, too. I think he delivered that ball just a little bit too quickly, but, you know, that's what happens, and Zionsville defense steps up and makes gets a turnover and pretty much should ice the game here.
That's the thing about this level of football. Everything is a learning experience.
All right, so it looks like Zionsville is about to close that out. The New Era Gators on defense on 4th down. Here is Muhammad rolling right. Muhammad has the first down and more. Able to pick up some yardage as well beyond the sticks. Keeping the drive alive before Devon Gary brings him down. That's 24-0, the lead for New Era, but Brownsburg trying to get on the board here before the end of the game. And that contest has gone final behind us, so Zionsville is going to be in the 6th grade championship game on Tuesday night, and they are awaiting the winner of this one, which is clearly going to be New Era. So it's New Era versus Zionsville in the 6th grade final Tuesday night. Rolling left with it, Muhammad, and gets struck down by Tonio Smith. I mean, I'm telling you what, Zionsville's going to have their hands full with this New Era defense. Yeah, they just will.
Smith's another kid that I would love to know just so, you know, 3 or 4 years later or from now when I see the kid on a high school field, you know, I can say, you know what, I saw that kid at Grand Park that day, but just under 2 minutes, 1:57.
Second down after that lost yardage. Now it looks like Elijah Johnson's banged up. I mean, my goodness. The new quarterback is Deacon Gibbs. That's 4 different quarterbacks that Brownsburg has had to play in this game. And he hands off to Muhammad. By the way, Muhammad's also played quarterback. He gets it to about the 35-yard line of New Era for a gain of 6. It's 3rd down, about 7.
Big old hole there. You know, and some of it too, again, maybe this is an opportunity for this young man to play quarterback. Might be one of these deals where he's been asking all year, and you know, you let him take some snaps in practice, and now's a good time to get him some snaps.
Gibbs hands it off to Muhammad. Muhammad tries to get to the edge, has another first down, and gets wrestled down from behind there by Ishmael Burris. Does move the chains, but also the clock. Probably run about 2 more plays here. Snap to Gibbs. Gibbs is knocked down by Tonio Smith. You know, and also I love about Tonio is he does not overdo it. You know, he doesn't. He just does the right thing. He makes the tackle and just says, hey, that's the end of it. I know I'm going to tackle the guy. I'm not going to face mask him. I'm not going to do anything but just knock him down.
Yeah. He's done that 3 or 4 times today.
And also being aware of the fact that Brownsburg has already had several guys get hurt in this game. And boy, New Era continues their dominance in this Gridiron Gangs Youth Football Tournament. They have not allowed a point in 4 games, and they take care of business, beating Brownsburg 24-0 to advance to the 6th grade championship game on Tuesday night. Before we wrap things up, Jim, a final word from you.
Again, John, I think we saw some pretty good football here, and I'm not surprised that these kids, even though they're 3rd, 4th, and 6th grade, these are the elite of those groups. So, you know, it kind of was pretty good football on both sides. When we were able to go to the other side of the field, that ended up being a very close game. I'm really excited for Tuesday.
24-0 your final here. We've got 2 games coming your way Tuesday night. The 3rd grade final at 6:30. The 5th grade final at 7:45. You're on field number 1. On field number 2 behind us, it'll be the 4th grade final at 6:30, and then the 6th grade final at 7:45. For my partner, Jim Leisure, I'm John Herrick saying so long from Grand Park in Westfield. We'll talk to you Tuesday night. You've been watching Gridiron Gang Youth Football on the ISC Sports Network and Comcast 81.
Legacy is about sharing what you have learned and what you leave behind when you put the people you serve first. Dr. Donald Shelburne became a doctor to help athletes recover from knee injuries. That single focus has helped thousands of athletes continue to follow their dreams over the past 35 years. Dr. Rodney Benner understands what patients with knee pain want. They want to get back to working, playing, and living.
Come meet our family and we will take care of yours.
One focus, proven results.
We are the Shelburne Knee Center.